Welcome to Tarot and the New Moons. Hi everyone, my name is Ingrid, and in this video I'm offering new moon or full moon tarot readings, and they're all based on your astrological moon signs. Enjoy! Hey everyone, welcome back. As usual, housekeeping matters. Okay, moving forward, I am going to have the prior videos unlisted. And that's because it's causing some sort of confusion to some people, thinking that we're going to go back. No, we're going to stay in present time. So I'm just going to start deleting those prior videos. Now, as far as my end is concerned, I am not interested in tracking information, getting people's info, etc. So the PDFs are totally free. You do not have to sign on or put your emails. I hardly even send emails anymore. So just download the PDFs. They're totally free. And lastly, even though I personally am not looking to get likes, etc. As a matter of fact, I took away there's a feature on YouTube where you can eliminate how many people like your videos. Like, it doesn't show the numbers. However, it turns out that YouTube does pay attention to algorithms. And why should I be surprised, right? So some people have subscribed to the channel, but for some reason, when the new moon videos go up or the full moon video goes up or any of the special videos are going to go up, you're not getting notification in your notification feeds. And that's because you either didn't hit the little like button, or you're not fully playing like the video or something like that. I don't know. It was online. Some people were saying, I didn't get your notifications, or I didn't get your video on the feed. Make sure to subscribe, number one. Hit the notification bell, number two, and then give it a thumbs up, because apparently this helps the algorithm, and so it won't make my videos sort of disappear from the feed or your feed. Okay? So I hope this helps with why, you will log onto your YouTube channel and you don't see the video on the feed. It's because those items or whatever haven't been clicked. So again, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and spread the word, spread the news. Have other people do this with other friends too, and experiment with Tarot and the Moons. All right, so let's get started. What do we have here? We've got a full moon in Virgo. Now, a full moon in Virgo is always like this energy that's ready to sacrifice themselves for others, right? They're a little bit self-critical. They don't actually like emotional chaos, and they like to organize their emotions in a weird way. As a Piscean on the other end, I don't understand that, but that's what they do. They have this sense of humility. There's a self-worthiness issue because they tend to hide behind this concept of servitude, of being of service to others, which can sometimes be a detriment to the moon in Virgos, because it's important to also be of service to yourself. So the goal is always to be of service to your divine higher self, this full moon, not new moon, full moon. So we're being really called to do service this full moon, but it's both, right? It's not one or, it's service to self and be of service to others. This kind of I keep saying new moon, it's full moon in Virgo, is very exacting, right? It's very methodical. Like I said before, it's emotionally critical, so you might find yourself being really hyper critical of yourself during this time period, and the perfectionist syndrome is going to start kicking in, which is very much a full moon, a moon in Virgo archetype. So we may have a tendency to not only hold others to an impossible standard, we might actually start holding ourselves to an impossible standard. So always allow our hearts to rule our thoughts versus our thoughts ruling our hearts, which is what this full moon or moons in Virgos tend to do. You know, as an earth sign, the Virgo energy kind of concerns itself more with how things are done, more than anything else, because they love to learn how to develop. And it's important that they dissect things and analyze things in order to be critical of them, because they need to learn how to discern and dissect. So when it comes to emotions, they tend to be the same way. They're not, moons in Virgo energy is not necessarily super emotional. And so people may mistake them for being cold, but they're not. What they're doing is they're really dissecting things because they want to discern. It's almost like they're discerning whether or not the situation or circumstance warrants an emotional resonance. And that's a beautiful skill set to have, especially when we're talking about the moon and regulating our emotions through the lens of the moon and tarot. So beautiful lessons to be learned here with the full moon in Virgo, which I hope you will enjoy the reading. I did want to add one thing. So Virgo can be ruled by the modern day planetary rulership of Virgo is Mercury. But I'm going to go to its original rulership, which was Chiron. And if I were to bring in Mercury to the reading, I would have the Lover's card and the Magician be our set of cards. And it just doesn't feel like globally or collectively we are at that choice point, right? I feel like that Mercury energy might come in a little later. And so I'm just relying on my instincts this time around and really focusing more on the original rulership of the Virgo astrological sign as being through the lens of Chiron. Okay, so in that sense, the rulership is, or rather, Chiron is ruling the archetype of the Hermit in Tarot. So just a brief overview, Chiron in Greek mythology was a centaur. And unlike other centaurs, this particular Chiron was discovered in, I think it was 1977. So it's pretty recent in astrology. But the Chiron energy in this Greek mythology was very elegant, which reminded me of that Virgo engagement, which tends to be very elegant. It's almost like I don't want to show you my emotions because it would mean that I'm messy or something, right? Like they don't allow themselves to get messy with emotions. And so it very much tied me to this Chiron energy. And so in an astrological chart, Chiron tends to point towards our sort of pain or our spiritual wounds and what we're here to sort of focus on and transcend and transform and release. So this very much ties in with full moon energies. And because this is a full moon in Virgo, I am going back to this identity or the rulership of Chiron in relation to the Virgo astrological sign. All right, so we're only going to have one tarot card for our reading tonight, or today, or this morning. So, without further ado, I hope you enjoyed the reading, and let's begin. Oh, and as always, well, I'll just put the video on and continue to talk. All right. So what I was about to say was that, as per usual, we're going to use oracle decks and with a combination of tarot decks when we're doing full moons, because I really feel the oracles kind of lends itself more to that full moon energy of peeking in, and also understanding that as the moon starts getting into that quarter stage, it starts dimming. So just to get a little extra different sort of reading on that. And I put this out because I wanted you to see, sometimes I guess it's called, I don't know what it's called, but I'll move around a little bit and feel into the constellation. So we're here. This is Virgo energy. And so when I also was tuning in, I felt that solitary energy that comes with that Chiron perspective. And so, like I said, we're only going to use the Hermit card in addition to the Moon card, right? We always have the Moon up here, and then I have two cards, but we're only going to use the Hermit card because I feel that, first of all, let me just say I'm recording this on February 23rd. And I'm starting to feel that whatever is coming up in the tail end of February is really the beginning of a shift. And it's because of the Hermit. It's because of the archetype of the Hermit. Now, who is the Hermit? In Greek mythology, this archetype, this tarot archetype, is often depicted as Kronos. And Kronos was the son of Uranus. Uranus was overthrown by Kronos. Kronos, the old man, was overthrown by Zeus. And the tale is obviously very long, etc. But what really impressed me with, and this is just like a collective reading, there will be betrayals exposed, right? Betrayals exposed on leaders. It will be exposed by an older energy that's been sort of in the caves, but it's coming out. Pamela Coleman Smith and the Wyatt, he, oftentimes when we see I'm sorry, I'm having a difficult time getting into the groove because I just came from work and I really wanted to get this video out today. And I'm sort of like, settling. That's why I needed to do that sage, but I didn't. So there you go. But I'm really trying to land right now. So when we see the Hermit archetype in a tarot reading, we're often told like, oh, you're going to have to retreat. You're going to have to learn some deep-rooted mythological lessons or mystical learnings, go into the cave, right? Everything that archetypally the Hermit represents is usually, when we put the card down, is what we see. But Wyatt, when he was going through the Golden Dawn initiation, was very clear that the Hermit was not illuminating just a path. The Hermit was the way shower, right? So the Hermit was offering not only the light, but also the way. And that's really resonating for me for this full moon in Virgo. The full moon in Virgo is showing us the way. Also, I wanted to add something, because as you know, this is all experimental for me. I'm not an astrologer, but I am learning to really try to tap into and get into the constellations, really trying to tap in, because I've always felt that these personalities, these archetypes in mythologies, they have a very real, where did I put this? A very real engagement with us humans, right? And one thing I'm noticing is that whether it's the new moon or the full moon, wherever it lands in whatever constellation, that constellation is actually giving us the key to how to regulate our emotions during that time period. So the Virgo energy, the moon in Virgo, remember the moon in Virgo, they're generally emotionally modest, a bit reserved. They don't like showing emotions because they're in that space of analysis. And what they're here to teach us in terms of emotions is how to emotionally tap into our intellect, how to be emotionally analytical. That's really going to help us ground our energy during this full moon period. So for me, it's really important that this is one of the notes that I took, which was like how these landings, as I'm calling them, these landings are really being this. They are being the way showers of how we are to regulate our emotions. Not that everyone's cookie cutter, but to tap into some aspect of the moon's energy force, right? For example, this would be the energy of being a little bit more intellectual than letting the emotions overtake us, but not that we should be afraid of our emotions, right? One of the ways that the Virgo energy can be very regulating with their expression is to stay creative. Stay creative. They tend to overanalyze, over-rationalize, but on the positive, their creativity of how to do things keeps them expressive. All right. So we want to be in that space because the Virgo energy, the full moon in Virgo is the way shower. Also, because of the mythology, I do feel that this month there will be some sort of a betrayal with father-son, daughter-son engagement, daughter-father engagement rather. Some sort of a betrayal because of the backstory of this particular Greek mythology. So something will be revealed. We've got, interesting with these two cards, there is illumination happening, right? The lantern always offers warmth and light in the darkness. So this is a card that's often asking us to take a moment to pause and then to emerge with a mature energy, a mature way of being emotional, right? This is an old man. There is maturity here. This is someone who's had experience, right? So this older man will be showing us the way in a dark hour or a dark moment. This is also a card that is concerned with inner spiritual progress, which is oftentimes why this particular card is doing a dual job of inner knowledge, inner knowing, as well as outer, right? Signifying the Virgo, being of service to self and then being of service to others. Really important, I feel. This is obviously, this is a sage, this is a seeker. This is telling us to have discretion. This is telling us to focus on our inner world. This is telling us to collect our thoughts before we proceed, which is very much how the moon in Virgo functions. All right. So I'm going to leave those two here. Let's do our readings with the Goddess Oracle cards. And I did not shuffle these beforehand, so I will do that now. And so we want to just keep in mind that because we have the Hermit, it's not exactly the most activated card for socialization, right? It's more of a solitary, or a card that calls for solitude. Again, to take time to concern ourselves with our own spiritual progress, right? It's not like he has a group of people. It's like your own spiritual progress needs to be attended to during this full moon in Virgo. Okay. And I think the last time I saved a lot of time by just putting all the cards out first. Okay. Please tell us, give us a message for the full moon in Virgo season. I did share with everyone before that I'm focusing on the people that are following the channel, because it helps me hone my energies there as opposed to spreading it out too thin. So thank you for all those who have privately DM'd me on Instagram or in an email, that this is really assisting you, especially with exploring more of our relationship with the emotional body and our emotional body system, which I think is going to be more and more important as the days progress and the months progress in this year of 2024. One thing I didn't do this year was to tell you the players and the archetypes of tarot that are paramount for 2024, and up front is the Strength card. And I always, and the Strength card always looks fantastic, right? Because it's like this maiden with a lion, and she's fierce and she's controlling, you know, the rage of the lion, or she's, you know, she's in some sort of a relationship with that lion. And it just looks like badass. So every time it comes out, I always get people saying, oh, I love that card, or they feel empowered because they just got strength. Well, when any of these cards show up is because we have to tap into some element that they're here to teach us. This year, the Strength card is here to teach us that, to have strength. And why do we need to have strength, right? Because there's something brewing. There's something coming up that's going to require a collective strength to be able to move past it. I think that February is an important month because this wise keeper is showing us the way with the light. He's got some wisdom to share, which is part of the engagement with that Strength archetype, right? So he may not appear to be strong physically because it's an old man, but this is Kronos. This is someone who ruled, right? We have to respect the wisdom that's held in there, because we've got to learn from it. That's part of our ammunition for strength, the strength that we need by the end of this year. So all of the cards that are coming up actually are part of that, but I just feel very strongly about this one. Okay, let me shuffle these cards. And all right, let's start. Aries, Taurus, And guys, I'd really welcome any like comments that you have, any suggestions that you have. I mean, I'm just experimenting here with the moon, but I really appreciate it when people tell me that they're enjoying it, but also would appreciate if you think there's a way to do something better or not. Like laying all the cards first was actually a suggestion that was made, which I really appreciate, because eventually these videos won't be an hour long. That's the goal. I want it to be like, you know, at least half an hour, but I'm getting there. We just had to go through some, let's see, because one thing that people they want to see the cards that are being flipped. Okay, let's put these here. Awesome. All right, we're going to start with Aries. And Aries, again, you're here to trailblaze a new identity for all of us. Let's see what guidance you're getting for this full moon in Virgo. So everyone's getting, you know, everyone's having the engagement with the Hermit and the moon, right? So I'll just hold it like this so we can all see. So this is the card of putting your passions into action, perfect for the Virgo. Remember what the Virgo is. It's methodical, it's analytical, it puts emotions to the side until it figures out how to do something. So for you, Aries, this is about how to grow your business, or how to grow your health, right? Like how to expand your healthy body, right? Like what is it that you need? What are the steps that you need to do in order to put seeds down on the earth to help you either become healthier or grow your business? This is also a very spiritual card. So even this aspect of what is it that I need to do? What steps do I need to take in order to expand my spiritual practice? Okay, because this is the Eight of Pentacles. And what goddess is accompanying you is the Sphinx. So yeah, so this might be a challenge for you to think about this bigger picture. How do I grow my business? What do I need to do to become healthier? What is it that I need to do in order to expand my spiritual practice? And so the Sphinx is really guiding you. When I see the Sphinx, it's tried and true. This energy's existed for eons. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You've already begun. You've already started something. You already know what to do. You just have to organize it and really activate that Virgo energy and do your list, cross it out, be disciplined about it. Okay? Because this is tried and true. This has existed for a long time. So you know exactly what you need to do. Taurus. You've got the Lovers, which is really interesting because the Lovers is actually the Mercury energy of the Virgo astrological sign. So when we have the Lovers, it's these choices that we are up against. So for you, you use your emotional powers to expand and really embody what it is to be prosperous. So from this, you know, and I'm looking at the Hermit, the moon in Virgo is asking us to analyze first. Don't jump. Don't be so quick to make decisions without first analyzing every step, almost like being nitpicking about what's before you. You have Pele, you have the awakening goddess. So yeah, there's a part of the choices that you're making if you have your moon in Taurus, part of the choice point that you're up against is really, I almost feel like the Kundalini has risen and it's like exploding, but if we are quick to make a choice, right? The adventure versus what's established, the conservative versus what's free and free flowing, we might make the wrong choice, because the choice that we have to make is not necessarily this from the head space, it's from the spiritual sphere. Because the Pele here is telling you that there's an awakening process. So until you feel that true impetus, until you feel that true engagement, that's something that's coming from the heart center and rising up in you, I would just say hold off on the choices. Hold off on the choices for now until you get this awakening, which is basically, right? The awakening is basically the lantern, the light source that is telling you, let's go forward. And we got Gemini next. So Gemini, you've got transforming experiences, right? So this is all about family for me. Your emotional power here is to promote, I think I've said this before, to promote mental health. So within the family is where you're going to find that transformative key to improve your own mental health. You know, we all cling to past experiences, all of us, each and every one of us. It's just a matter of how we're going to traverse it, right? What wisdom, hold it here so you can see both. What wisdom is the Hermit providing you in terms of how you deal with past family engagements? And this is for the people with the moon in Geminis. See what goddess is. Past play. Ah, interesting. So yeah, tap into your inner child, tap into your joy, tap into, like, you know, you tend to be more like therapeutic and let's analyze it from this perspective. You know, it's kind of saying play with the tools that you have and don't be afraid to have that play be the source of your inspiration for this full moon, for you to let go of some past family drama. Or, you know, sometimes when I see this card, I'm also drawn to like inheritance and inheritance. Remember, the Hermit is about soul searching. It is about spiritual enlightenment. And so for you, the soul searching and spiritual enlightenment about your family in the past is going to come from the goddess Bast, which is all about play. It's all about play. Next up, we have Cancer. Potential. Four of Pentacles. You know, this is really about you hunkering down, counting your dough, right? Counting your money, reflecting about your sort of your abundance. It's really about you looking at your abundance from a different perspective. Beautiful. Beautiful. And again, shining a light on that. Demeter, feelings and emotions. How interesting, because obviously we are dealing with feelings and emotions, but maybe the different perspective on your security, right? Your security, this is the four, your security, your financial stability is really about feeling into what does that actually mean for you. Because for the Cancers, I feel like you've been going through this for a minute. Those that have the moon in Cancer, you've been going through this for a minute of trying to figure out exactly why is it that you don't feel secure, you don't feel safe, having to do with money. And Demeter is saying, well, check into your emotions. Is there really fear here involved? Because if not, you are secure. Do you have a home? Feel into your emotions versus feeling into this perspective of what others think you should be doing, or what you think you should be doing, versus how you truly feel about a situation. Nice. Next one is Leo. Wow, Leo, you've got the tried and true card. This is the 5 of Wands. Now remember, for you Leos, your emotions are all about self-development and being seen, right? But the Hermit card, the Hermit is really guiding all of us to be in the space of solitude, in that space of contemplation. So do something, you might want to do something rather during this full moon in Virgo, where you really try to ground a little bit of the chaos energy that you can easily work within. So the discipline, I feel, is really, right, tried and true, things that I've already done. The discipline, I feel, is what's being called here. And you've got Oshun, sensuality. Well, then let's take it this way. If Oshun, sensuality, with her sickle moon here, is the goddess that's going to really be with you during this full moon in Virgo phase, this is really calling in not only your emotions, but your passions, right? Your passions. So in this respect, when I look at the Hermit card, we say to ourselves, there's nothing there of passion that the old man can possibly offer. But that's actually not true, because passion is about digging and searching for a deeper truth, a truth that ultimately gives you satisfaction, gives you the satisfaction that you're seeking. Beautiful. And Oshun, see this water too, which is all about emotions. Now we are in Virgo. Oh my God, Virgo, oh my God. I'm laughing because obviously that's the moon card. So I'm telling you guys, I really feel this full moon in Virgo is pretty strong. This is all about reflection, right? So again, if I'm looking at the Hermit card, it's not only a search for a deeper truth for you, moon in Virgo individuals, but it's also about being in a universal flow. I'm really drawn to the flow of this maiden in the water. And through that flow, the virtue that you are really tapping into is patience. It's patience. So you're teaching us so many beautiful lessons in this new moon, in this full moon for all of us, but you're also teaching us to have patience. Beautiful. I can't believe you got the moon card. That's intense. So again, if you are a moon in Virgo during this full moon period, which I find very strong, your higher perspective is telling you how to process your emotions during this time period. Let's see who the goddess is. You have Nukua, right? Order. This is like so perfect for you, because for for the Virgos, being emotionally needy is not something you're comfortable with. Your emotional needs you actually see that sometimes as irrational, because you're afraid that the emotion can take over your rational mind. So she's really guiding you to just have order in the process, right? Have order in the process of how you're moving forward, and have order in this phase of reflection. You might want to start doing gratitude journals, that kind of order. You might want to start doing walks in the park as a form of reflection, right? So having a specific order or something to do while you're processing and reflecting is how you're going to benefit the most during this full moon in Virgo season. Lovely. And again, you even being of service, right? Because that's how you process your emotions. Look at that. Libra. Libra, you are the moons that want to generate peace. And here I was talking about strength. So on the bigger scale, on the bigger picture, we have to tame the wildness inside of us. We have to be very, very much, I think it's not even in the outer, we're still in the cave, as it were, still analyzing, still emotionally trying to tap into the intellectual aspect that grounds our emotion, because we can't really afford to lose control, right? This is tamed, lose control. Let's see. Ecstasy, you know me. I mean, what I'm seeing here is the opportunity to face off even with your own power. Because this is like a Kundalini rising, but it's like she's facing off, right? Like, this is like taming the wildness inside. This is not necessarily something we want to do, even though this particular goddess is dancing with this energy. We don't, if I put this, we don't really want to face off with the Kundalini. We want to let the Kundalini rise through our body and be of right? One of the moon in Virgo qualities is to be of service to yourself and then to others, versus just being of service to others. But whatever happens for this full moon, it does appear that you are able to quell whatever energies want to rise up against you or around you. Next we have Scorpio. Don't stop dreaming, Scorpio. This is the Princess of Cups, stargazer. You know, don't stop dreaming. Your emotions are here to generate mystery and mysticism. And part of this, the Hermit, is that the Hermit does have knowledge in his hand. They do possess the lantern of light, right? Moving forward. So in a way, you're being told, and I am being drawn to that moon card, you're being told or guided to really tap into the light source within you. This is so intense with the, because I feel the water energies are very powerful. The emotions are very powerful. But notice the maiden is a young maiden. It's almost like, I almost feel like there's chaos around. But if you have your moon in Scorpio, you're not even paying attention to the chaos, which is probably a good place to be. Wisdom, Sophia. Interesting, because again, it draws one to the Hermit card, right? So get your wisdom from the stars, right? Keep studying the stars. Get your wisdom from the stars in order for you to fully ground during this full moon in Virgo season. So beautiful, right? Next up, we have Sagittarius. Self-reliant. Self-reliant. Again, this reminds me of that aspect of the Virgo that's solitary, that's not really engaging with others, right? Because this moon craves some sort of order. And in that order, you're able to emotionally connect to yourself. So whenever I see the Ace of Pentacles, which is what this is think about some new creative project or new business idea or new venture that you want to sort of start tapping into. But understand that you're traversing this on your own. It's the solitary path, because you have to rely on yourself. The Sheila Nagi, it's opening. So whatever is happening here, it's like an opening. And again, you've got these elderlies, kind of like, I would even look at ancestral engagement, like these elderlies, kind of like pouring in some wisdom and knowledge into your psyche about how to be self-reliant. Beautiful. We are in Capricorn. Capricorn, you've got the Magician. You've got the Magician. This moon for you feels fine because your emotions are always here to plan for a better future, right? That's what you do. Your emotional state is about planning for that better future. So you kind of sink right into this full moon in Virgo. And it's not particularly challenging. So you get to play a little if you are a moon in Capricorn. You get to play a little. Also, you get to acquire some new skills. So this is where the methodical aspect of the moon in Virgo comes into play. Careful about being emotionally critical, right? We want to stay away from that part of the Virgo energy. And you want to stay away from this space of being a perfectionist. And I say this because the magicians tend to want to be perfect, right? They want their performance to be perfect. You also got the one there, so that's a competition rising, and the Capricorn tends to be very competitive. Capricorn is also the symbol of government, so we want to also look, now I'm getting away from the personal reading, but we want to look at it from a global perspective of what the Magician card is telling us from that government standpoint, where people might start getting really nations start getting really competitive with each other and trying to show how perfect the other one is or imperfect the other one is. But for those with a moon in Capricorn, this earth sign is a space where you are comfortable in. And you're also comfortable with figuring out how to perform the magic, right? This is the Magician card. Awesome. Let's see what goddess is with you. Uzumi, laughter, right? This is fun. This is about you performing. This is about you being in the space of performance. This is laughter. This is entertainment. So you're really being encouraged to be in the space of entertainment, but don't be so serious about it, right? Be more in the space of laughter, right? Oh, so beautiful. I felt like that was definitely a moon energy, kind of like illuminating an aspect of your full moon in Virgo moment in time. Moons in Aquarius. Look at this. You get choices. I mean, sorry, not choices. The Sun card. The Beloved. So there's a lot of illumination here happening for those with a moon in Aquarius. You've got the sun, you've got the moon, and then you've got humanity with its lantern, so the people around you. Aquarius, your emotions are here to help evolutionize our future, right? So you're here to teach, you're here to be, you're not only here to teach, but you're also here to learn, right? So there will be aspects of your life that are really illuminated for this full moon in Virgo period. Beautiful. Beautiful. There are certain expectations that you are putting on yourself. And I would just say, let that go as much as possible, because the path has already been, I almost feel like the path has already been destined for you. It's, that's the Hermit energy. It's already been destined for you. So I wouldn't I wouldn't try to cling on too much to expectations. That's allowing you to be ruled from the space of your mind and not from the space of the heart. Who's the goddess with you? Tara, centering. Oh my God, you can't make this up. What is it? What are they doing? They're literally centering their emotions, centering their experiences. They're meditating and centering. And then you get Tara, who's all about centering. So check your emotions. Make sure that they are literally at equilibrium and not too expressive, but not too closed up either. You wanna stay on an even keel for this full moon in Virgo. Beautiful. Last and never least, moons in Pisces. Wow. Excuse me. You're being hit with some amazing creative sparks, something new, something illuminating, something that's passionate for you is being shown to you. Remember, your emotions are here to generate and manifest dreams. So for me, this full moon in Virgo feels like you've already manifested something, like you've already started something creative. Amazing. That's absolutely beautiful. And that's one of the, remember when I spoke about the moon in Virgos, one of its attributes that they can really assist us with is that in staying creative, they're able to analyze and process their emotions in staying creative. So this is a perfect, beautiful lesson that the moon in Virgo is actually showing those with a moon in Pisces. Illness/wellness. Okay, so pay attention to your health. Do your creativity. Don't stress about your health, but at the same time, pay attention to it in that you want to stay within its flow. Let the health flow in. Go out and get some sunshine. The Wand's energy is also like fire energy. Not our natural source of quote unquote fire is the sun. So as I tap in, right, because I said I was going to tap into those that are following, there may be these elements of feeling low. I was going to say depression, but I'll say it. Depression. It's a little bit of depression. Go out and get some sunshine and do a creative project, right? Do something new. Color. Buy a coloring book and just color for an hour, right? Allow the inner fires to come in through you, and then go out and allow the outer illumination to penetrate through you as well. Beautiful. All right, guys, that's the reading. I'm going to pull one card for the collective. Again, just to reiterate what the tarot card of this moon in Virgo is all about. Again, it's a spiritual enlightenment. It's self-reflection. It's a process of searching for your own deeper truths. But remember what Wyatt said about the hermit. He's the way shower. So we follow him. He's not lighting the way so we could pass him. He's lighting the way because he's leading us. All right? And I'm going to pull this one card for the collective. Illusion. Yeah, I really feel that the collective, this is Maya and illusion. I feel like the collective, we're going to be illuminated about something that that's been kept under wraps, that we've been held in an illusory state about. Yeah. All right. I'm going to do my automatic writing on that. And I hope you have a beautiful full moon in Virgo.